Improving the accessibility and walkability of our cities is becoming a priority for Oklahoma's urban planners. Increasing foot traffic means increased revenue for businesses and tax collectors. So how do you accomplish that? Steve Shaw joins us now with some of the plans that may soon be reality. Steve.
Rich, 2 months ago, we told you about Tulsa's plans to increase walkability along the Arkansas River. Oklahoma City is also years into a long-term effort to utilize what is known as the Oklahoma River.
Decades ago, the Oklahoma River was nothing but a dry riverbed. Then a series of man-made dams nearly 20 years ago created a 7-mile-long waterway that Oklahoma City has been building around ever since.
Tons of cities all over the country are kind of reinvesting in their riverfronts and the parks and recreation opportunities that go with that, along with just building, more places for people to live and shop and eat. And
Oklahoma City Assistant Planner Max Harris has been with the city 5 years. In those 5 years, the Oklahoma River has undergone massive change, following the additions of amenities like River Sport Rapids, the Devon Boathouse, Scissortail Park, the new Convention Center, and others.
I think we're hearing more and more people wanting to access the river, to get across the river.
Oklahoma City is well into the 4th installment of what's known as Metropolitan Area Projects, or MAPS 4. MAPS projects are funded by an ongoing penny sales tax that's raised billions of dollars. Now that the Oklahoma River is a staple in the community, MAPS 4 is funding bridge, pedestrian, and bike trail projects that will allow folks to cross the Oklahoma River to the Capitol Hill and newly emerging Wheeler districts on the other side.
We have a cyclist that's going to come right past us right now. Hey, thanks.
Oklahoma City Parks and Recreation Director Melinda McMillan Miller says the city is in the process of converting what used to be a railroad bridge that crosses the river near Western and the Wheeler district into a bridge for pedestrians and bikes.
I think that actually will be completed in about 2 years' time. So we're really hoping that by about the middle to end of 2025, we'll be able to have people rolling across there on their bicycles or walking their pet.
There are so many benefits of being a more walkable community, from environment. The more you walk, the less you drive, the less air pollution, the less carbon emissions, to public health.
Last fall, Chickasaw Nation started building their $400 million O'Connor Resort and Indoor Water Park project, which will be close to downtown, the Oklahoma River Boathouse District, and the First Americans Museum.
It's a big deal. It's a huge development right along the river. And
next to the First Americans Museum.
That's right. So a big cultural asset for Oklahoma City, and something that I think needs more access to.
City leaders also plan another bridge that connects the O'Connor Resort and the First Americans Museum to the north shore of the Oklahoma River, just east of the Boathouse District.
I think if anything, Oklahoma City is catching up to all the cities that we aspire to be more like, especially when it comes to alternative transportation and connectivity. We always look to Bentonville, Arkansas, or just the entire northwest corner of Arkansas. They have an amazing trail system.
Parks and Recreation Director McMillan Miller says she knows folks worry about safety, but they shouldn't.
We're also increasing the amount of lighting on our trails. Currently, we're standing on the south bank of the river trails, right, and before you know it, we'll actually have lights all along this trail. So in the evening and the overnight times, they will be illuminated to make people help them feel safer. But more than anything, just get out there and use them. The more people that use them, the safer you'll be.
A small piece in all of this is this large pedestrian bridge at Northwest Expressway and Wilshire, just west of MacArthur. It's been in the works since 2007.
So it was a long time coming. It connects the Lake Overholser Trail to the Lake Hefner Trail and kind of traverses Northwest Expressway there, which is a pretty dangerous street for cyclists and runners and pedestrians.
Statewide, ODOT several months ago launched what they call a statewide vulnerable road user survey and analysis.
Surprisingly enough, our vulnerable road users are more located in our rural areas. We are seeing higher rates of pedestrian crashes, bicyclist crashes in our rural areas versus our more urban.
Shelby Templin's job is to come up with what ODOT calls an active transportation plan.
I like to say I really want active transportation to be a true mode choice versus just the default when people either can't drive for whatever reason, don't have access to a vehicle, what have you. We want to be a true Department of Transportation for all modes.
That's a tough job.
Yes, it is.
It's a lot of land.
Yes. So we are actually one of 8 states in the nation that don't have an active transportation plan. We've never completed one before. So it's been a really big undertaking.
Templin says what ODOT learned is people want easier ways to get to places they frequent.
Most people said they just want a safe way to access those areas. They may live a half a mile from their grocery store, but they can't get there because state highway such and such runs right through their town, and they don't feel safe crossing or they don't feel comfortable.
Templin says ODOT will conduct more door-to-door surveys this summer in urban and rural areas all over the state.